This meeting of the Fremont County Board of County Commissioners is called to order. We will begin this morning with our invocation by Todd Luce from Grandview Christian Church, immediately followed by our Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
Good morning. Would you bow with me, please? Gracious Heavenly Father, we come before you today and we ask a blessing upon this meeting and upon the commissioners. Lord, we ask that you give the commissioners wisdom in all areas, financial, moral, ethical, everything that they have to deal with as they try to make our county a better county, Lord. We pray for their wisdom and understanding in all the things that happen. We thank you for all that you do for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you, sir.
Roll call.
Commissioner Grant.
Here.
Commissioner Bell.
Present?
Commissioner McFall.
Present.
County Attorney Bellis.
Present.
County Administrator Carochi.
Present.
Approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, we have a pretty short agenda today. I know of no changes we need to make, so I move to approve today's agenda as presented.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item on our agenda is our consent agenda. We have the normal course of business with the minutes and biweekly bills. We also have several documents where we are approving and ratifying the chairman's signature on several documents for the airport in particular, and a couple other contracts for road stabilization and tunnel stabilization projects on Phantom Canyon and County Road 12, as well as the final adoption of the SRU 24-005. That will be resolution number 14, series of 2025, and no public hearings are being scheduled.
With that, Mr. Chair, thank you. I just want to point out that County Road 12, that washed out with one of the big rains that we had, and it's a paved road, and it was a really good undercut washing. That road's been, one lane has been closed for several months because it's taken us a while to find a contractor to fix that, and it's a very expensive project too, but finally got a contractor on it, and that's what this signature's for. And it'll be good to get that fixed and save that road before we lose the entire road, because there's a lot of traffic on that road. With that, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item is our administrative and informational portion of our meeting. And we begin with our staff and elected officials. And we turn first to our county clerk for his monthly report for June. Is that correct? June?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Let's see, we're running a little behind, that's why it's June.
Gotcha.
The total motor vehicle fees, sales tax, and recording fees collected for the month of June were $1,776,178.84. Of that, Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $1,004,509.37, which is 57% of the total fees, and is $222,162.70 more than June of last year. Year to date, our office is up $251,243.94.
Is that coming across? Can you guys hear him fine? It just sounds really weird up here.
It's hard to hear. You want me to repeat it all? We made a little bit of money. We're ahead of last year. I will say that since there's a crowd, I can speak, right? In 2022 and 2023, we did have some major companies that were being sold and bought. So motor vehicle sales have switched over for the big heavy equipment. And that happened towards September, October-ish, August, in that area. So we're going to start seeing a decline from previous years just because that is going to be coming up. As for the increase, we're having a lot of people coming in, and you have to understand it's not the fees necessarily, because a lot of times it's fees that are up, it's the taxes that are coming in that are up. That's what's being retained by the county. The portion for disbursement, that $1 million, most of that goes to the state. almost all of it, I would say. And then a few chunks go to all the special districts, school district, municipalities, stuff like that. So that's what that is right there.
Okay. Any questions or comments for the clerk and his report?
No questions. The report looks good. We appreciate this. I do have a motion, Mr. Chair.
Please.
I move to accept the county clerk's report for the month of June of 2025.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item on our agenda is the report from our county administrator, Tony Carochi. Mr. Carochi.
Morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, everyone. So we will start off with the job opportunities that we have posted in the county. And believe it or not, we only have one job opportunity. Well, we have several in one department. But our Fremont County Sheriff's Office, we have a master control deputy position that closes August the 21st. We have a deputy patrol officer position that closes September the 3rd, which I can't believe we're already talking about September. And then a deputy patrol and training position that closes September the 3rd. So for more information about employment opportunities with Fremont County, please visit our county website at fremontcountyco.gov, or you can call our HR department at 719-276-7409. Just a reminder that our public health department, the vital records department in our public health department is still operating with limited hours at Garden Park across the street. Those hours are 8 o'clock a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m., Monday through Thursday. Of course, we're closed on Friday. Service options regarding who and how to access vital records during hours when the vital records office is not posted on the Fremont County, is posted on the Fremont County Public Health and Fremont County government websites. You can also contact the Pueblo Department of Public Health and Environment, their vital records department at 719-583-4555. Sorry, I can't see this morning. I'm having a hard time. And you can also contact Chaffee County Vital Records Department, 719-539-4510. Another reminder that the County Assessor's Office has temporarily moved across the street to Garden Park Public Health Building. We anticipate a return back over here to their space at the County Administration Building by the middle of October. Members of the public may continue to contact the Assessor's Office Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. By telephone, 719-276-7310, or you can email Stacy Seifert at stacy.seifert@fremontcountyco.gov, or you can also go to our Fremont County website at fremontcountyco.gov and visit the assessor's website and click on the public record search. Fremont County Department of Transportation. I know this is going to make the commissioners very happy, and as a community we should all be happy because they're finally, our DOT department is starting to prep the roads and the parking areas of Pathfinder to begin our chip seal project. So they will begin that next Monday. They've already began prepping the prep work, and we're excited to have that chip seal. It's going to alleviate a lot of the mud and mess around the buildings for events and stuff. So it's going to really be a nice addition to our parking lot. Fremont County Department of Public Health. Let me see if I can pull this up. So our Public Health Department is promoting a safe medication disposal program. This is a simple, safe, and accessible program available to everyone in Fremont County. And it's through a company called Deterra. This program is funded by opioid settlement funds and is intended to prevent medication misuse by delivering a free Deterra medication disposal pouch and a resource card in the mailboxes of over 10,000 households in Fremont County. Our direct mail Deterra safe medication disposal campaign launched last week with pouches arriving in the mailboxes of families and with members that are 60 years and older, as well as all households in the more rural areas of our county. Multiple partners throughout the county will keep pouches on hand for citizens needing more. You can visit our Fremont County Department of Health website at fcdphe.com for more information and partner locations. If you did not receive a deTerra pouch and recover resource card in the mail, you can get one at the following places. You can go to the Canyon City Fire District at 1475 North 7th Street, the Tallahassee Fire Protection District at 4580 County Road 6 in Coaldale, Fremont County Public Health and Environment across the street at 201 North 6th, the Canyon City Police Department at 161 Justice Center Road, and most of our local pharmacies are also carrying these pouches. Or you can visit, you can go back and review our board meeting this morning, and you can click on that QR code, and it will take you to the website that details and talks about all the information on this program. Really neat program. We're excited to roll it out. And that is all I have, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, sir. And as far as that QR code, it's not an active link. It's, you would take a picture of
Yep,
it with your
take a picture
phone
of it,
and it'll
yes, sir.
take you to the website. And you said that one of the locations was the fire station? Which
The
fire?
first one, the first one you mentioned,
Yes, it's the...
Should be on 15th Street?
15th Street,
1475 North 7th Street.
Should be
1475 North 15th Street.
I don't know, it says North 7th on
Yeah,
here.
there's not one on 7th. Yeah,
Don't go to that one. That's
North 15th.
Whoever
Yeah.
lives there is begging.
Well, we better get that fixed on this
Please don't
document.
do
Yes.
It's North 15th.
Yes.
I'm not even sure 7th Street goes up to the 1400s. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll get it fixed.
Okay, thank you. All of that, I think, will be on the website as well, as
Yes,
far
sir.
as all those
Yes, sir.
things, places you can do that. And from what I understand, we've heard some, at least anecdotal things about these, the benefits of these so far. Folks that have gotten these, and you probably don't even realize just how many old, outdated, expired medications you have in your cabinets and in your closets over the course of time. Better to use one of these than to flush them. Please don't do that.
I can tell you a little more too, just
Yeah.
for those watching and those of you here. It's a neat little bag that has a Ziploc on it, and you tear that open, you put those pills in there, put a little water in it, shake it up, and you can throw it away. What it does is deactivate, I guess, or however you want to say that, gets rid of the drug, so it's not a chemical anymore. It's safe to dispose in the trash. We learned about these at one of our conferences and talking to the company for a couple of years, and our public health director finally took this and took it as a program using the opioid funds, as was mentioned, and it's a really cool thing. I've used one myself. Just pour the old pills in there, like I said, add a little water, zip it up, and it kind of creates a little gel, but then it's disposable, safe for landfills, and better than flushing them down the toilets and all that, because that doesn't deactivate them, but this does get rid of the chemicals that are in them, or the drugs, opioids, whatever. Pretty safe.
And one of the stories we heard was from somebody that got one of these and filled up the pouch, filled it up, and was trying to find another one because they had that much, old medication that they were having to get rid of. And so be aware of this. This is a good thing, and appreciate your participation in that, and just getting rid of that stuff out of your cabinets and the old medicine cabinet.
And apparently you don't go to North 7th Street.
Not North 17th, North 15th.
Well, you can. You're not going to have much success there probably, but
Better set a little box out there.
all right. Any other snide comments for our county administrator? Thank you, Tony. Appreciate that. Elected officials, any updates, anything going on? Justin?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to talk about the assessor's office real quick. I do have a hotline in my recording office for those, because there's a lot of people who don't think about it before they come here. If they need the assessor's office, go ahead and come to the clerk and recorder's office and to the recording office, and I have a phone that directly links to them so that they can come over and talk to you. So just know that if you don't have your appointment, you can always call them over from my office. And I also wanted to point out, now that everything's been established, We now have 5 election drop boxes since the election's coming. 4 of them are drive-through now. I moved the one away from my office door over to the Garden Park parking lot, so you can drive up and drop off your ballot. That was a huge concern over the past few years. Once people realized it was right there outside my door, they would stop in the road, leave their door open, walk up, drop off their ballot, maybe talk to a few people, then go back out on the road and drive away. So we now have a drive-through there. We also have a new box out at DHS over on the other side of town that is also a drive-through. It's in their parking lot. We moved the drop box from the Penrose Elementary over to the Penrose Library. Through their library drive-through drop-off is now our ballot boxes there as well. The one is still located at City Hall in Florence, and that's been a drive-through. And then we still have our one out in Cotopaxi that's not a drive-through yet, but it's close enough to the road you don't have to move too much. So just prepping everybody that now that the election's coming, update your addresses, and we have those drop boxes for you. So you can just, you don't even have to get out of your car most of the time. Drive up, drop it off, keep going. So there you go.
Okay, thank you. Who wants to go first?
Debbie does.
Okay. Challenge accepted. So first, I would like to mention, last Tuesday, we held a special board meeting here to accept the 2023 audit. At that time, our auditor, who is a gentleman named Kyle Logan, said his opinion on the county's financial situation was an unmodified opinion, which means a clean audit, the very best that you can get. At that time, we did thank our Fremont County financial team for their continued great work. However, for the additional audience that we have today, including the millions watching around the world, I would like to again say thank you. This audit, again, gave the 3 commissioners the highest level of appreciation for our management team, especially Finance Officer and Assistant County Administrator Sean Sutton, Accountant Sheris Hall, Accounting Tech Dana King, and Grant Administrator Rachel Miller. It also lets us all know that we can rest comfortably knowing that we have the best financial team possible in place here in Fremont County. So to those folks, I would just like to say thank you. Also, we've been talking a lot about our work on both the state and national level. So I'm pleased to announce today that I was recently notified that I have been appointed by the National Association of Counties President as a vice chair for the NACO Rural Action Caucus. It does mean more meetings each month, but it also means an even greater voice for Fremont County on the national level. In addition, of course, to the amazing work that my fellow commissioners already do. So, happy and pleased to be able to represent Fremont County once again. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that. Commissioner McFall.
Yeah, I want to start off with the fair, which completed the volunteer boards and committees that we have. We have the fair board, I think, which consists of 13 individuals. And they all volunteer their time, and they spent many, many, many hours out there at the fair this year, plus the hours building up to preparation for the fair. The committee is the sales committee, who prepares for the livestock sale at the end of the fair. And I think there's 7 on that committee, and then the rodeo committee, who also had to get stock contractors and all of that, get ready for the rodeos that happened at the beginning of the fair and the end of the fair. So kudos to all of those folks. They did really well, a good job. We had a good attendance of the fair again this year. The livestock sale was down a little bit from last year. However, last year's sale was one of the biggest ones ever in Fremont County. It's a little over $203,000 this year that those kids were able to make on their animals to finish their projects. There was 235 total animals at the fair, and I think 66 sold at the fair. So congratulations to those kids who, it's kind of interesting talking to some of the kids. They're going to use the money to fix up their small block engine on this vehicle that they blew the motor, and others of them saving it for college and buying animals next year. So they're learning responsibility, and it's really cool that the youth are getting involved. The 4-H numbers, the last 2 years have closed with 179 members in 4-H program in Fremont County. This year it ended with 209. So that's more kids, which is great to see. It's a good foundation and a good start. A couple of us up here, Commissioner Bell and I, both went through 4-H, and I think it's a great organization. So I just wanted to share that. And then last but not least, you've seen the fires in western Colorado. We don't want those here, so be very careful when you're out and about. The fuels are very, very dry. These winds and heat aren't helping it. So anytime you're out and about, be very diligent and don't start any fires, don't drag chains, be very safe and careful, because only you can prevent forest fires.
Thanks, Smokey.
Including ourselves, are all the other fire districts in county, are they in?
Yeah,
fire ban?
Custer County just went to level 1 restrictions. Fremont County's in level 1. The only problem is BLM and Forest Service aren't yet, which encompasses more than half of our county. So be careful when you're out there, because it does still take our resources to help put those fires out. So I think Teller County's in stage 1 as well.
Okay, thank you. Well, that is kind of worrisome.
Yes.
That they are not in those restrictions.
Yeah, that's a federal government thing, and it's just like any other red tape thing that they go through. The criteria is there, and I think it actually meets it, but there's a percentage of fuel, or of moisture in the fuels that they go by, and until it drops below that percentage, which it's right on the cuff, it's right at 12%, which isn't very much. So as soon as it drops below that, then they'll go into it as well.
The wheels of bureaucracy grind slowly.
Yes.
And
If at all.
even more slowly the higher in elevation they are, like the federal government. So,
True story.
well, we will hope that that will be resolved, that they will go into restrictions. I mean, that's where most of these kind of fires happen and start, you know, people camping and carelessness with fires and campfires and things like that. So anyway, thank you, Commissioner. Just a couple items for me this morning. We have, last week we actually had a meeting with our elected district attorney, and it was a public meeting with a lot of the other commissioners from the 11th Judicial District. It was our annual budget meeting. It's kind of a meeting that all 4 counties have to have with the district attorney prior to our own budget setting time, come August and September, and then our final approval of our budget through the end of this year. It was a good meeting. We were very encouraged by the progress that our district attorney is making in his budget process. The last 4 years were troublesome, I guess, is the kindest way to put it. We had, this is all public record, so just come out and say it. Going into 2021, there was at least a $500,000 budget, what's the term?
Fund balance.
Fund balance, thank you. The fund balance going into that. And that's, we carry a fund balance as well in order to, which actually was talked about last week in our audit. An audit that showed that we have good fund reserves, fund balance for, was it 5 or 6 months of expenses in case of emergency. And the DA was also carrying a fund balance of around $500,000, which is good for, you know, to cover things in case of emergency, especially to take care of payroll so that the wheels of justice keep spinning. Well, that $1 million reserve had evaporated within probably a couple of years in the prior administration, and he has taken the bull by the horns just in the last 8 months, nine months or so since he actually took office. And he has built his fund balance back up to around, I think, what is it, 100,000, give or take, 120-ish, which was remarkable. I don't think any of us were expecting that, to be perfectly honest. It's remarkable in that short amount of time that he's been able to recover that much and also improve the operations of the office. And so very pleased at least to report that from the standpoint of the commissioners and the funding, that it appears that our new DA is doing a wonderful job of budgeting correctly, and he's getting good people hired in there. And so it's encouraging for all of us and a good thing for our county and for our 11th Judicial District. The only other thing, just a small thing that I have to talk about, If you were paying attention to the news last week, the governor called a special session. You know, you think, well, it's not January to May, so we're not going to have to talk about the legislature. Well, we are going to have to talk about the legislature because for the third year in a row, the governor called another special session. I remember, I'm getting old enough now where I can go, I remember where special sessions were actually special. When they are called every year because of a budget crisis, to me, they're no longer special. They're calendared, is what they are. They plan for these emergencies, it seems, and they have to have a special session to deal with, honestly, emergencies of their own creation. There will be a lot of blame going on over the next couple of weeks. Special session will start next Thursday. They will blame H.R. 1, the so-called big beautiful bill, for all of their woes, but these are woes that existed prior to January 20th of this year. These are woes that happened in the state budget last year and the year before, a state budget that had $3.6 billion in surplus 3 years ago, which is now frittered away into a supposed $1 billion negative. So where does $4 billion go? Do any of you have it? Okay, I didn't think so. Neither do we. So you're going to be hearing a lot of blame on what's going on in the federal government about how, you know, taxes are going to be cut in Colorado to benefit billionaires. Well, that's simply not the case. The tax cuts that are being offered in H.R. 1 in D.C. are actually helping working class folks in overtime pay and not taxing overtime. And what that does in Colorado is it gives them tax relief this year, but then the special session is coming in to say, we're going to take that away in Colorado and untether that from the federal tax that you report so that we can collect that tax on your overtime in the following fiscal year. Well, in Colorado, it's a little bit different. We have this little thing called, what's it called again? Tabor? Something like that? Yeah, Tabor.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, heard of that too.
I'm not sure our legislators have.
You know.
Well, they have, they want it pretty bad.
They have heard of it and they want to get rid of it. Not all of them, but a majority of them. And when we have this tax break because of the federal bill in this fiscal year, but in the next tax year, they take that away, by the definition in our Colorado Constitution under Tabor, that is a tax increase. And they're going to try to do it without a vote of the people. That's what's required in Colorado, is a vote of the people if you raise revenue. And that is what this special session is intended to do. The very first line on the fiscal portion of the governor's executive order says, concerning changes, et cetera, regarding revenue shortfalls and insufficient revenue. There's not insufficient revenue, folks. Just plain and simple. They complained about a $1.2 billion deficit last year, when in fact the overall budget in the state rose by $3 billion. There's not insufficient revenue in this state. That is code for, we need more of your money. So that's what they're coming after, starting next Thursday, Friday, and probably the following Monday. They may do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it depends. But beware, that's what they're coming after. And those that are still working for a living, they're coming after the tax break that the federal government and the federal bill have given you on your overtime. They're coming after it. They won't be able to get it this year, but they will get it the next tax year. So welcome to Colorado, unfortunately. In
Not the
this
Colorado
situation.
that I grew up in.
No,
I can
not
tell
the
you
one I
that
grew up
much.
in either.
No.
So there's several other things. They you talk about a spending freeze, you know, and a hiring freeze that they implemented, the governor implemented. But what that means in government language is we're just not going to spend more of your money that we had planned to. They still have yet to use the word cut, and they haven't cut anything. They didn't cut anything last year, and they have no actual plans to cut anything this year. So instead of planning on what they can do to trim costs, they are looking at how they can take more of your money so they can keep spending like a drunken sailor. Did I say that out loud? Okay.
Well, I heard it, so
Okay.
maybe.
Anyway, see, just a small thing. That's all I had to talk about. All right. Anything else? Okay. Well, then, let's move on to the next portion of our agenda. Item number 2, citizens who wish to address the commissioners on a matter not scheduled on the agenda. We do have a couple people signed up. If you are on the agenda for a little bit later, you don't need to worry about this immediately, but if you want to speak about something that's not on the agenda, there are slips of paper over there that you can fill out and come up and address us. We do have a couple folks here. The first one I have is David Miller. David, come on up.
May I present with you?
You bet. You bet.
You can share.
We can. Thank you.
Yes, my name is David Miller. I live at 422 Chinook Drive in Canyon City. That is up at the top of Oak Creek Grade. I would like to address the deplorable condition of County Road 143 and 277, commonly known as Oak Creek Grade. A couple of years ago, someone I know called the Road and Bridge Department concerning Oak Creek Grade needing maintenance. They were told, well, you chose to live up there. Yes, I chose to live up there. I moved up there in 1998, 27 years ago, when the county actually maintained that road. I drove the road 6 to 7 days a week for many years. I do not know if we were on a regular scheduled maintenance or not, but the road was never allowed to get as bad as it has gotten since the county started using the spray solution. I use that term because that is what someone from the county has used. Snow was plowed, sand was spread over the ice on the hills and around the curves. New road base and gravel was applied every couple of years and actually packed down with a road roller. I agree there was a lot less traffic on Oak Creek Grade at that time, but the amount of traffic and the speeds are not the problems. If the spray, quote, was tried as a method to see if it held the surface surface better, end quote, then why is it still being used, as it clearly has not helped Oak Creek Grade? When the road gets wet, it turns into slimy mud that even four-wheel drives can have a hard time negotiating. I believe that's why the solution is not used between the 6 and the 8 mile markers. It's way too dangerous. If, quote, the spray solution wasn't in lieu of regular maintenance and didn't lessen the maintenance, end quote, then why are the roads in the worst shape they have been in 27 years of living up there? By the time regular maintenance is performed, it is in worse shape than it was prior to the previous maintenance. The maintenance that is being done is like putting a Band-Aid on a severed limb. The maintenance department came out a few weeks ago, or the road department came out a few weeks ago to take care of some washouts on the road. They smoothed the road. That was fine. I believe the county would say, well, it was the excessive water that we had. You talked about some washouts on County Road 12, I think it was. We had some washouts. They came out, smoothed it out, but it wasn't just the water and the speed of the water coming down the hill. They didn't take care of the actual problem. The water normally comes down the ditch, goes through a culvert, into a dry creek bed. The culvert was not cleaned out. The ditch was not cleaned out. The next rain we had, the road started to wash out again. Like I stated, the amount of traffic and the speeds are not the problems. I believe the bigger problem is the lack of proper materials for maintaining the roads. I've given you some pictures to look at as to what the roads are looking like, basically just in this past week. To begin with, you can tell the surface isn't smooth. You can see the beginnings of the potholes the day after the roads have been maintained. Every rock that has been pushed down into the dirt will be kicked up by automobiles, and it's the beginning of another pothole. Several of the other pictures there show that there's not enough materials on the roads for the road graders to even pull it off to fill in the driving lanes, let alone to put a crown on the roads. The operator cannot cut to the bottom of the washboards, which means that the washboards will immediately return. The operator is hitting hard pack, and he is not able to scrape up enough dirt. One of the pictures in there shows also the road wheels behind the grader leaving ruts in the roads. That immediately begins tearing down the road some more. Some of those pictures, 3 of those pictures, were taken last Thursday afternoon after the road crew had left. Even if the road crew was planning to come back on Friday to do more work on this section of the road should never have been left in that dangerous condition. You'll see big rocks and everything in the roadway. One of the pictures, the last picture on there, is one of many that I could take between mile marker 6 and mile marker 14. The really light spots in that picture is the actual mountainside. It's bedrock. Places on the road, bedrock is sticking up above the surface 2 to 3 inches. This is an issue which has continually gotten worse since the spray solution has been used on the roads. I believe that our Fremont County Commissioners for several years have been content to go with the results of choices made by previous county commissioners, instead of acknowledging the problem that we have up on Oak Creek grade, and instead of coming up with a solution for the Oak Creek grade problem. I believe that you have a situation, you've inherited a situation here which has been allowed to get completely out of control, and the cost to remedy the problem is more than what you want to deal with. Hence, the tried and true political solution to problems is to just kick the can down the road. I know the majority of the individuals who live up on Oak Creek grade would appreciate it if you would decide to quit being political, tackle this issue, and then do whatever is needed to make Oak Creek grade safer again. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Is there any of that you want to, oh, you're just going to? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. And is it Terry? Yes. Terry Davis.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Good morning.
Morning.
I called your road person, your maintenance person, and I don't know if he has a real great sense of humor or what, but when I suggested that he come up the road to see what it's like, he said, well, I don't know if I've been up there. I said, please come up. I'll even give you a cup of coffee. But anyway, I just wanted to say that it is a scenic road. It's a beautiful drive. If you've never been up there, please take it. And he told me because it is a scenic drive, it doesn't get the same maintenance as your regular roads. Well, I put that in an email to some of my neighbors that it was a scenic drive and that's why we're not getting maintenance. And one of the neighbors looked it up and he said, Terry, it is not listed as a scenic drive. in the state of Colorado. So please, somebody clear that up for me with him. I would
been.
appreciate it.
It has been.
You have?
It has been cleared.
Okay, and I appreciate your comment too to my email, sir. It was great. But anyway, please, look at Oak Creek Grade. It is a beautiful drive, and it has become the main drive from West Cliff to Canyon City. I know a lot of people who are doing that because it's a 30-mile drive instead of going all the way around. Your person also told me that if I didn't like coming down Oak Creek Grade, I have another way to go. I can go 96 to Canyon City. And I said, yeah, but that's 40 miles for me, because I live right on the county road. So anyway, thank you for listening to me today. Please take a trip up. Call me if you'd like. I'll give you some coffee and cookies.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Kind of
Terry.
cookie. Kidding.
Any others that would like to address the county commissioners this morning for items that aren't on the agenda? Going once, going twice. Well, thank you both, and thank you everybody for being here. We are open for any comments, and we do have an open door policy, so if you have concerns, please feel free. Give us a call, shoot us an email. We'd be happy to take your concerns. These are things that we are addressing, not just on Oak Creek. These are things that are issues on many of our more well-traveled, is that a way to put it, county roads, Tallahassee in particular, and 132.
32.
Anyway,
Yeah,
there's
a
bunch of them where, especially on things like Oak Creek Grade and Tallahassee, where, especially when you have long straightaways where people like to pick up speed and increase traffic. These are things that we are dealing with and trying to address as best we can, and we will continue to. So, thank you both, and thank you everybody for being here on that. Next item on our agenda, there is no old business today. On to new business. We'll begin with a resolution, I think will be numbered 15. Series of 2025 authorizing participation in the Rural Jumpstart Program. And with us today for an explanation on that is Diana Armstrong from the Fremont Economic Development Corporation, and kind of give us the cliff notes on what this does and why we're doing this. So,
You bet.
Good
Thank you.
morning.
Good morning.
morning.
I am Diana Armstrong with Fremont Economic Development Corporation, and I am wanting to speak to you about having an opportunity to renew our Rural Jumpstart Zone participation. That Rural Jumpstart Zone is through the State Office of Economic Development and International Trade, and it's an incentive for new businesses to either relocate or build their businesses in Fremont County, business startups. And then the way they do that is through tax relief and a grant project. So new businesses that are interested in Fremont County as a rural jumpstart county are eligible for state tax relief. So it's state income tax for the business. It's the property tax for the businesses and the sales and use tax for the business. And it also allows the employees of those businesses to not have state tax consequences for up to 8 years. So this is an up to 8-year program. There's also a grant project or a grant opportunity that is allowed through this Rural Jumpstart of $15,000, and it's for operating expenses for those businesses. And if they do apply and get approved for that, they have a 3-to-1 match. So the business pays $45,000 in operating expenses, and then the state will match $15,000 to offer that additional assistance to the program. So there are, because it is a tax incentive or a tax relief, We don't want that, or the state didn't want that to compete with our existing businesses that are here. So they had some safeguards put into place, and that is a non-competition clause. So the businesses that come in cannot compete with an existing business or with an existing business in our adjacent counties that are participating in the Rural Jumpstart. So if you have a shop here, Fremont, say you have a restaurant and a new restaurant wants to come in, if it's directly competing, it's not going to be approved for the program. They also have to have at least a commitment to hire 3 employees at the average Fremont County wage within 3 years of the program. And those employees have to stay working with the employees who are approved to not have to pay the state tax fees. They have to at least work for that business for 6 months. So it is quite a nice incentive for Fremont County, for Fremont Economic Development. We are the sponsoring entity, and Fremont County government and FEDC went together in 2019, put together a resolution, requested from the state office that we could be approved for the Rural Jumpstart, and were approved in 2020. So now that has expired, and we would like to request that gets renewed. And to show some of the additional benefits, and just to kind of celebrate a little bit for the program, I'd like to introduce, if I may, Meeting-8 Manufacturing, who stands to be a beneficiary of the program if they are approved and this resolution is renewed.
Fantastic.
So, Eric,
You want to come talk?
would you like to speak?
Sure.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Hello? Just give a kind of a brief, what you guys are doing out there, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. So I'm Eric Bonnick. I'm the CFO of Meeting-8 Manufacturing. The facility down there off of Highway 120 has been defunct for quite a few decades, and we're on the cusp of bringing it back to life. So within about 90 days, we'll have a ribbon cutting, and then we'll start employing hopefully a significant amount of workers here in the region to manufacture tiny houses out of light gauge steel, as well as produce steel components for other building endeavors in the region. So that's what we're hoping to do. This program would be a great value add for what we're trying to accomplish here, and we look to be a significant economic driver in the region.
This is something that we've been working on and excited for this project out there in Florence. The old, help me?
Domtar.
Domtar. Wow, it's like this block.
It's okay. I'm
Domtar. The old Domtar plant, if you're familiar with that, if you're heading east out of Florence, and it's on the north side of the Highway 120, before you get out there to Holson or
Amrise.
So real excited. I think we're talking maybe upwards of 100 jobs out there.
In the next couple of years, we actually will be closer to 200 full-time employees.
Wow.
Once we get to the production levels that we're looking at with multiple shifts, having people out there for most of the working week.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We're also, bringing back the train infrastructure out there as well. So we've been talking to a variety of different businesses in the local area who need transloading capabilities so that we can bring in all sorts of different materials to our facility and then ship them off for local delivery.
This is exciting stuff, folks. We're talking, a couple hundred jobs might be might be the biggest private employer in the county at that point. Do you know? I can't think of any others.
It's close, yeah.
At least close, yes. So, good luck, congratulations. And this is one of those reasons why we're doing Rural Jumpstart, to give new businesses the leg up to come into Fremont County and not compete. Again, as you mentioned before, that's important to us. Compete with already existing business. We don't need subsidized competition. But we appreciate all the work you guys are doing out there and look forward to seeing the opening and the ramp up. So
So
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This is a very exciting project, so thanks for being here this morning.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb. Any questions for Diana?
Not a question, but just a thank you for all of the work that you and Rob Brown both do at FEDC. I know how busy you are. I know how many things you do that kind of fly under the radar that no one really sees and knows and understands the work that you do, but they see the results here in the Fremont County community. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Well, any further discussion? Motions?
I'd say this is a pretty easy one.
Yep,
It is, I got a motion for you, Mr. Chair.
please.
We do have a resolution, it's up there, it's also posted on our website, anybody would like to read that, but I move to approve resolution number 15, series of 2025, authorizing participation in the Rural Jumpstart Program.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded, and as noted on there on that big paragraph, Tony, if you go down a little bit, that takes the extension out to December 31st, 2030, which is basically the end of what the current Colorado statute has authorized it to. And in 2030, we can talk about whatever that program looks like at that point and further extending it depending on what the legislature does. So, with that being said, if there's no further discussion, roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item on our agenda is resolution number 16, a series of 2025 opting out of the electric motor vehicle charging system permitting process established by House Bill 24-1173. That was a mouthful. Mr. Bellis, would you please give us the cliff notes of what was going on here?
I will do my best. House Bill 24-1173, by its title, calls itself an act concerning streamlining the process for permitting electric motor vehicle charging systems. And what it in fact does is it encourages counties to adopt a EV charger permitting model code to be developed by the Colorado Energy Office. Now, in and of itself, House Bill 24-1173 is fairly innocuous in that it really doesn't require the county to do anything too far outside of the box, but the Colorado Model Energy Code, which it serves, is in fact insidious in some of its requirements, in that it essentially encourages the electrification of everything not only to be built, but everything currently existing that may need to be updated, modified in any way. And it imposes requirements for quote-unquote efficiency, which increase the cost of construction for not only new construction, but also for remodeling existing construction. What that does is a couple of things. Number one, it limits consumer choice. For those of you who would like to have gas-fired heat because it's actually warm, it makes that more difficult. It drives everyone to reliance on an electric grid, which is at this point probably not adequate to support all of the new demand that it contemplates will be created. Not only that, but it anticipates that that demand will be met by quote-unquote green new renewable energy technologies such as solar and wind. Green being somewhat of a misnomer, also clean being somewhat of a misnomer, in that although all of those technologies are clean when they are on the system generating power, they are certainly by no means clean when they are being produced from rare earth materials, from all of the steel that is required to build a turbine hundreds of feet high to catch the wind. But many of the end-of-life processes for those systems have not yet been developed, and they are certainly by no means clean at the end of life. So this resolution basically says we in Fremont County do not have a complicated permitting system for electric motor vehicle charging stations now. In fact, we say get an electrical permit so that we know that it's safe. And when that technology is profitable, people will likely come and build it. So Fremont County is saying, hey, we're not making it more difficult right now for people to put these charging systems in. They're not being put in because the process is not yet, the technology is not yet mature enough for it to make sense for folks to come to a place like Fremont County to put the charging stations in. Basically, this just opts out of step one of that process that leads us down the slippery slope of the Colorado Energy Code. And I'm sorry if I expanded beyond the cliff notes a little bit, but this is one of those areas where, just like the phantom budget deficit actually does require just a little bit of talking about to really understand it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Bellis. That was the cliff notes. That's what I get for letting the bulldog off the leash. But thank you for that, actually. It's very helpful. And understanding what this is doing. This is, obviously, we're not banning such things. We don't have the regulations in place to make it more difficult to put these things in. Why would we? And why would we put in your convoluted system of doing so? We, as you explained, getting the electrical permit to make sure it's safe, et cetera, and it's just part of our regular building process anyway. So thank you for that explanation. Any other comments?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So I actually think Attorney Bellis showed pretty great restraint in talking about the Colorado Energy Code and our reluctance to enter into the fray. So the one thing I really would add to the conversation is advancement is a great thing. We wouldn't be where we are as the United States of America without advancements in technology, in education, in every different way that you can imagine. However, I don't want those advancements to be forced upon me, my family, or my community. When we choose those advancements, then that's our choice. And that's what America is all about. We are free to choose our own methods. So for example, I currently own my third hybrid vehicle. I love hybrid cars. That's my choice. I have zero interest and zero intention on ever owning an electric vehicle, a fully electric plug-in, because it's my choice. I could change my mind eventually if and when the technology develops that I can actually believe in. Today, I don't believe in that technology. I don't believe in forcing these things onto anyone in the United States, and we actually can stop that here in Fremont County, so that's what we're doing today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome.
I hope it's my turn.
I'll tell you how I really feel after the meeting.
Yeah. So this is just another step that the state legislature has taken in the last few years to cram this down our throat, to put it quite bluntly. Trying to make it a revolution instead of an evolution. Mm-hmm. There's probably nothing against the technology once it's able to do it, but as mentioned, this infrastructure is not near where it needs to be, up where you guys live. You want to have charging stations up there, right? You don't. Nor would you be able to leave when you wanted to because your battery would be dead because it was 20 below zero and the battery went haywire, and then you got to spend another $40,000. But that's beside the point. But this is just another.
Cold up there.
This is another stab at our freedoms. They're trying to also change our building codes the same way through the energy office, where that we have to add all these other things to a house that you're building, which increases the price exponentially just to meet their green standards and make it electric. And I like the comment about the wood fire heat because it's warm. It's warm. And it's probably cheaper. So it's just another stab at it. And I'm glad that they did put this option in here for us to opt out of it, because I have, as you can tell, none of us have any desire to be in any part of this type of deal. If somebody wants to build one, and apparently we have a couple in Fremont County chargers, which is great for those that want to use them. They're there. There was one in the city of Canyon City for about a year, but sign off on it if you want to put one in and go for it. But I don't see that revolution happening in rural America, much less rural Colorado or Fremont County. Thanks, sir.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Indeed you do.
Please.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve Resolution Number 16, Series of 2025, opting out of the electric motor vehicle charging system permitting process established by House Bill 24-1173.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And last but not least, we have a license and permit for Iron Gate Ride LLC, the Secure Transportation Service. Mr. Bellis, would you like to take this one real quick again?
Sure. These secure transportation permits and licenses are for behavioral health transports. This is a Class A and Type 1, Class A being limited physical restraint authorized, Type 1 vehicle being for a vehicle that does have a barrier between the driver and the passenger.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Questions?
No, I've got a motion.
Motion.
We've done a lot of these lately, and it's kind of interesting, actually. There must be that many secure transports. Anyway, I move to approve the permit and, what's the other one?
License.
License, thank you. Class A license, Type 1 permit for Iron Gate Ride LLC.
And the permit is for a 2014 Ford Explorer?
Yeah, maybe.
That is the information I have.
Yeah, I don't see the Explorer, but anyway, I'll agree with you, sure.
It's on the Type 1.
It's on the
secure
second.
Yeah, my
document.
page isn't turning right, so.
Okay, all right. Yes,
Or
I will second
Explorer.
that.
And when does it start?
Okay.
Showing this license.
It has been moved and seconded. There it is on the permit
Okay.
paperwork. Okay. It has been moved and seconded.
We do need to add start and end dates.
Please.
Oh, correct.
So the permit is the 3 years or the
The permit is
license
1 year.
Permit is 1 year, starting today, ending on this day in 3 years.
1 year.
1 year, right?
The license is for 3 years, the permit is
for 1 year.
The vehicle needs to be permitted every year. The license is good for 3 years. So 3 years on the license, 1 year on the permit, both beginning today.
See, I can't see the permit on my thing for some reason.
Okay, so that'll be for the license 3 years, beginning 8/12/2025, going to, or going through 8/11/2028. And for the permit, beginning 8/12/2025, going through 8/11/2026.
Yes.
I found it, it is a Ford Explorer. Good.
I know.
And now we can proceed.
Okay.
You got all the dates and everything you need, sir?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
With that, any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall?
Aye.
Commissioner Bell?
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And with that, no further business in front of us and no public hearing scheduled, we are adjourned.